All right, back at it. Skill-based practice. All right. Um, this is going to be a completely different idea than warm-ups, right? It's going to be very focused, and these things, I may not do these things all in one day. Most likely, I won't do them all in one day. I'll pick one or two and really focus on those couple of things, so my brain isn't overloaded with information and my muscles aren't confused, right? Um, so uh, you can kind of think of this as block learning. So there's two different types of like practice, or at least in my experience, there's like block learning, like this, where you're just um, kind of mindlessly running up and down scales, stuff like that. And then you have like randomized. I say randomized, but it's kind of like in the moment, in the situation, we're gonna apply these ideas and just kind of problem solve, let the body figure it out. This is gonna be like very block learning ish, right? And the randomized stuff is gonna be saved for song work, right? Um, but anyways, alternate picking. Alternate picking, you can kind of I've so I've been alternate picking my whole musical career, right? Um, and it's just how a lot of people start out. Some people start out economy and then they switch to alternate. Some people are alternate and they switch to economy. Um, Learning both is good. Knowing only one is not bad, right? Um, there's a lot of bluegrass players out there that I've watched who will never economy pick. They alternate pick everything and they play fucking fast as shit, right? Dudes on mandolins just like ripping, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. Um, so, alternate picking, I tie that back to my warm ups, right? Because I know alternate picking so well, um, I kind of mindlessly go into it in the first place. It's in my body already. Um, Economy picking is definitely the one that turns into a skill based practice. It's something I have to focus on. It's something I'm still working on. Um, so if you probably already are aware of what alternate picking is, right? It's playing so that everything is a down up stroke, right? Um, so I'll do a little example. I'll be following the tab, right? So you can see, but you'll see that my hand will constantly do this, right? I'm constantly up and down, up and down, up and down. All right. Um, we'll do this. Right. So I'm constantly changing up and down, right? It's a great way to learn your upstrokes and make sure that the dynamics are matching with your downstrokes. I have a compressor on this, so all of my notes are going to sound, almost exactly the same. There's not going to be much accenting being done. Um, but economy picking is whenever you go to change a string, whatever direction that string is, your hand, your pick should go in that direction. So if you look at the tablature, right, we're going 8 to 5, right? Here again, here again, here again. Every time I change strings, I'm hitting a downstroke, right? I'm doing double downstrokes. It's going to be hard to see in the video, but this is something that I definitely practice, right? And I'll start off without a metronome, and then once I kind of get under my fingers, I'll add in a metronome, right? So, looks like this. Right. It's hard to tell, like it's hard to see in the video, like, well, it just looks like alternate picking, right? But if you watch, my hand is pushing through to the next string. Right. And you really get the look of economy picking at faster speeds. I'm not fast enough in economy picking to be able to show it properly. It would just look like shit, right? But right, we'll do a side by side, right? Here's alternate. And then economy, right? So, right. That may be out of your wheelhouse at the moment, but it's definitely something to be exposed to, in my mind. Um, okay, next, arpeggios and legato, right? Once again, this might be another day, right? I might not do economy and legato arpeggios at the same time, but it does make sense to do economy and arpeggios together, right? Um, because well, you don't have to economy pick an arpeggio. Like I said, there's a lot of players out there who don't. Um, anyways, going forward, right? Um, arpeggios, I don't have an example written down, so let me make one. Let's do major, which would be bop, 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 9, 10. And then I would just repeat this type of sequence over and over again, right, in perpetuity, right? Just this frame right here, this measure, right? So this is a major shape, and I'm just moving it in semitones, and I'm economy picking it, right? Arpeggiating it, right? So it would look like this. Let's see. Right? Economy picked, sweat picked, same thing, right? Um, economy, like I said, it's still something I'm new to, right? And I would do this with the metronome. It's skill-based practice. I'm going to really hone in on making sure that I'm right. I'm with the metronome, with the click. Legato. You've probably heard this term before. It's basically hammer-ons and pull-offs, right? It's slurring everything so that it runs together. So this is Locrian. This is F sharp Locrian, I believe, in a standard guitar. E F, yeah, F sharp. So, sounds like, looks like this. I'm just gonna hammer everything. It sounds a little nicer if you palm mute a little bit. Right, it sounds a little cooler. Right, and you can do this in any type of shape, right? I can do this with that major shape from before, which would be 3-5-7 and then 4-5-7, right? Right, and you can go as far as you want. You can, right? You can mix it up. You can connect shapes. You can connect scales. You can, right, connect chords, which is kind of like the whole idea eventually of music is to connect chords together. So, anyways. Right. Here is that major shape, right? Actually, this should be a 4, right? Because we have our G root, the 5th, the 7th, and the root again, right? Legato is not just going in hammers, right? We're going to have pull-offs in there as well. This is a nice little exercise to do. It looks like this. sounds a little muddy, this is definitely something I need to practice on. But once again, it doesn't have to be limited to this Locrian shape. You have all kinds of shapes to choose from. Guitar is a instrument of patterns. It's all patterns. Right. You can do whole tones. Oh shit. Right. You can just kind of fuck around. Right. Anyways, what do we have next on the list? Chord work. Okay. So chords are wholly, I don't say wholly dependent, but dependent on the style of music that you might play personally, right? I would typically do chord work on an acoustic just because it sounds nicer and it's a little more fun, you know. But I practice like jazz type shapes, which are going to be seventh shapes. So I'll do a quick example, but really, it's kind of just your own shtick with this one, right? Right. I think on. Sorry, that would have been like a B major movement on a regular guitar or a standard. Right. So, pretty straightforward. Nothing fancy. Okay. Speed. Oh, that's not what we want. Okay, so let's go back here. Right. So, when it comes to skills-based speed, I'm really honing in and kind of pushing the envelope of what my hand is going to be able to do, right? And I don't really have an example to show you because I would have to play to a click, and I don't have my click activated right now. It'd probably sound like shit, right? I don't know if it would capture it or not, but this is 60 BPM on mine. But anyways, so I would go as far as speed based. I would go as far as I was comfortable, which usually is about 180, 185, where I know I'm going to be accurate and not get tired, right? And then I would slowly progress up to where I want to be at, right? And right now, like I said earlier, I'm kind of pushing 210. That's where I want to be at, right? To be accurate and just playing well, right? This includes 16ths and 16 triplets, which is going to be 4 and then 6 notes between the beat. It's kind of hard to describe the sound that you want, but that is kind of later on, I suppose, right? It's also dependent on the style of music you play, right? I'm probably going to encounter in metal music and some rock a lot more of those types of subdivisions of like real fast picking. You may not see them at all, but just so you can see it in tablature, right? I'll turn this into triplets, right? Right here are 16 triplets, right? These 4 notes, right? And that's all it would look like, right? So we have one digga digga, right? Anyways, let's see how much time we got left. Okay, we're running out of time. Hand synchronization, right? We'll save that for the next one.